Course number 9 is among my favorite because it's all about being that strong, empowered person, that determined, tenacious you. That you that's just going to plow through and make sure that what needs to happen happens because you're in control of your life. You're empowered. You're the person. You're the man. You're the woman. You're just going to take it and go for it. And that empowerment to me is a very peaceful state. As much as some people would say, wow, it just sounds so nasty and gnarly and feisty and antagonistic and oppressive, and it can be. I mean, people can get really riled and angry and overly controlling and overly nasty and hurt other people. You know that. I know that. But I'm not really talking about turning that intensity into something that hurts anybody. I'm talking about turning that intensity into making things happen that are in your best interest and in the interest of those people whose life you are there to influence. So in this book yet again, I make reference to this, Own Your Peace, KISS Method for Inner Peaceful Living. I have a whole section on empowerment of transcendent inner peace. Because when you are in your most powerful way of being, which is that transcendent, thriving identity, you're not powerless. And you are intensely able to make things happen. Now, one of the chapters in this book is all about manifesting, as is in this book. These two books are really good along these lines. Okay, really do recommend picking these up and reading them. And that ability to manifest is a type of power. But I'm also talking about pure and simple grit, which is again discussed very much in detail in this chapter. And that's what this course is all about. Finding your grit, being that gritty self, being that, I'm just going to make it happen. Now, in this particular course, you'll find a discussion. It's a 2-hour discussion. You can listen to it while you're washing dishes, while you're taking a walk. You can listen to it parts, but make sure you listen to it all the way to the end, because it's at the end when we talk about the power. And it's these 4 amazing women who have gone through all sorts of different types of abuse and trauma at the hands of other people, as children, as teenagers, and as young women. And at the end, we discuss the way to walk in your power as a form of recovery. And that way of walking in power is the form of recovery that's related to grit. Now, the first letter of grit is G. And for me, that stands for gut. Having the guts to do something. Just feeling it in your gut. Feeling that determination. And what we understand is in this region of our body, which is for some people called the third chakra, for other people it's the solar plexus. In other traditions they have different names for it. This is the power center. This is where your identity as a present force to be contended with exists. And in the meditations, I give you some breathing activities that activate this region of your body. In this book, I give you lots of exercises that help you activate this portion of your body, because when your body in this core region, your gut, your solar plex, is tuned in, turned on, it makes your whole torso feel the power and the strength, the erection, the alignment that we talked about in course number 8. But it also helps you emotionally feel like you can charge forward. It's the energy source inside of you that just can move forward. It's that capacity. It's so interesting to me that this is the region where we digest our food. We take it in, we take energy sources in, we break it down, and we disseminate it throughout our whole body in this region. And that's what it's. Take in the power, you organize it, you disseminate it so that your body, your mind, and your emotions can feel your sense of strength. Now, one sense of strength that's a little odd in this gut sort of reaction is that of anger. And I want you to think about anger for a moment, not as the type that destroys, but the type that loves. Weird, right? We're so used to thinking that anger is all destructive. But the thing is that if you're angry that you were abused or traumatized by someone wrongfully, I mean, when is it ever right? Get angry about it. Get angry. I'm angry for you. I'm angry with you because I love you. You're angry for yourself because you love yourself. And if it were to happen to someone that you love, you'd be angry because you love them. And there's nothing destructive about that anger. If you go out and you try to massacre or hurt or kill or get revenge, then you've converted that anger, which is really essentially love, into something destructive. But essentially that anger is your grit. It's your determination. It's you being able to say, I'm going to transcend this and no one's going to get in my way. No one's going to discourage me. I'm not listening to any of those negative thoughts or those negative ideas that other people give me. And now that I also give myself. And so it's that capacity to stand up to yourself. And remember, in all of these courses, and especially in Course 8, I talked about using what you can actively use to make your body strong and healthy and recovered. Because that's probably the easiest, because you can actually manipulate sorts of things, your time, activities to make your body feel strong. In this particular situation, you actively debate with your mind. You argue with your mind. You get angry with yourself when you hear yourself saying things that make you weak, or make you a victim, or keep you down, or keep you as a loser in your own mind. Anytime you hear yourself repeating the negative information that might have been psychologically manipulated and looped into your brain, you can yell back at it immediately. No, I am not going to talk to myself that way. No, I'm not going to be that mean to myself. No, I'm not going to be that negative to myself. You see, it's like being certain that you're going to coach yourself and definitely make a difference. That there's no surrender, there's only victory. That's the idea of grit. That's the idea of your gut, getting attached, connected to the strength in here. I find that when I do sit-ups or I'm doing planks, that I get so connected to the strength of my inner region here that it just makes everything stand taller, stronger, everything aligns a lot better. And not only that, but I have the fortitude to be able to face situations that otherwise feels intimidating to me. Right? We can all get intimidated by ordinary things. We can definitely get intimidated by abusers and traumatizers. We can get intimidated by our own imagination. And it's that imagination we need to talk to. So we talk to that imagination by creating a sensation in our gut that reminds us that we are here to be the soldiers. Dan Millman wrote a book that I review in both of the books that I've shown to you. And he discusses that we need to be warriors. Peaceful warriors, but definite warriors, strong and mighty and determined on our own behalf. So if you have been abused in such a way as someone else was trying to disempower you, which is usually the way it is, because you probably wouldn't have been abused, you probably wouldn't have been traumatized unless someone put you in a weakening position and made you feel like you had to take it, or you had to worry about surviving it. And so in that case, you were disempowered. So for you to be able to kind of recreate little bit by little bit, more and more and more, a sense of power, ability, and capacity, oh, that's tremendously helpful. And to think of yourself as a warrior for yourself, a soldier that's on your behalf, that fights anything inside you, thoughts and memories and feelings, and make sure that you are protected. I have another chapter in this book that's all about individuals that do self-harm. And it's not uncommon for individuals that experience abuse and trauma to begin to abuse and traumatize themselves, because it's what they've gotten used to. For you to stand up to any part of you that would want to harm yourself with words, with attitudes, with memories, or with physical harm, to stand up and say, no, I will not harm myself. I will not harm myself. To feel it in your gut, I will not do that, is for you to become that warrior, that peaceful warrior, that loving warrior. There's a metaphor that I love to refer to, and that's Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael is considered the angel of peace and also the angel of battle simultaneously. It's an interesting way to look at an Old and New Testament perspective on angels. Think of yourself as your own archangel, and that it is up to you to fill your grit, that intensity inside you that says, I will not let myself be further harmed, not by anything in me or outside me, to the best of my ability. Okay, we'll go on to the next class.